I'm Jen Campbell. This is Art About, and today I'm with Isis Chandler. Isis, you're a author, published author.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your book.
Oh, cool. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. My book is a young adult romance called Now That I See You. Originally, it was Now That I Saw You, based on Taylor Swift lyric, but my publisher wanted to change that for copyright reasons.
Very smart.
Yes, yeah. If you know the song Daylight, you'll know that line. It is about a young girl named Kira who is legally blind. She can see incredible details close up, but distance, she's so nearsighted that distance is a problem for her. And so she has very, very thick glasses, and she's very insecure about it. And she has a beautiful older sister that she always feels like she's in the shadow of.
Right.
And it's a love triangle because she's too shy to admit how she feels about Jason. But her beautiful older sister has no problem going after what she wants.
Aha.
And Kira is actually, she's a hybrid. My main character is a hybrid of several different people. I was so insecure growing up. I was kind of like Ellie Sheedy in The Breakfast Club.
Got it.
That level shy. And my best friend had so many vision problems. She was legally blind. And my husband, Adam, he had vision problems growing up. His mom took him to the eye doctor and said, "Read the top letter on the chart." And he said, "Where's the chart?"
Uh-oh.
We couldn't barely see anything. And so, yeah, she's like a hybrid of me and my husband and my best friend growing up.
Love that. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got published? Is there a story there?
Oh, wow. Okay, how I got published. Well, my husband is a writer, and so living with him has been like free writing school because he has a master's in creative writing.
Oh, wow.
And so just watching movies and TV shows and then analyzing why this story worked and why this one didn't and what this character should have done or how this line of dialogue should have been written. It's been like free writing class. So I wrote a book about past lives and reincarnation. Did not fit into a specific genre. Did not fit into any. It was just like I wrote what I wanted without thinking about anything. I was like, oh, I'm having fun writing this, but it wasn't like definable genre, and that's what agents and publishers look for. So I put that one to the side, and I'm like, I'm going to write a romance novel that is young adult, and it's going to hit the meet cute, and it's going to hit they almost get together. It's going to, just so it's more marketable.
Right.
And because I set out to do that, I thought maybe my husband was like, make sure you love it, though. You have to love it or no one else will. So even though I made sure it hit the formula, I still put like a ton of my personal experiences in it. And I actually dedicated it to my husband because he told me not to give up when I was like, is this close to giving up? The day I got the email from the publisher that we want to publish your manuscript, I was in the worst mood because I submitted to a bunch of agents. I got a maybe from an agent, and then I waited like a month and a half, and then I got a rejection, and I was so crushed because I felt like that was my one and only shot, and it was over. And, it just felt like agents don't want you unless you already have a, pre-existing career. And so it just felt like an impossible situation. So I was just like feeling like I was running on a hamster wheel, not getting anywhere. And I said, because I'm also a YouTuber, I said to my husband, I was like, I can't stand doing all this work and feel like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm like, if no one wants it, this was the shot. I wrote something that I thought was really marketable. If no one wants it, I'm just going to focus on YouTube. And I was in the worst mood, feeling like I had failed. And then I'm driving, and I got an email that says, "You're MS." And I was like, what is this? So I pull over to the side of the road, and I pull into a PetSmart, and I open it, and it was like, oh, manuscript. Dear Isis, Burroughs Publishing Group, we want to publish your manuscript. And so, then my husband was actually at the movies with two of our friends, because he was like, you're in a bad mood. I'm going with our friends.
Trying to avoid you.
Yeah. He was like, you're in a mood and a half, so I'll see you later after you calm down. Plus, I'm not into Marvel movies, which they were going to see, so I had no interest in this movie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wait and I wait and I wait. I go into the movie theater and I wait for it to get out so I can tell everybody the big life-changing news. I go over to the ticket girl and I'm like, hi, my book's getting published. My husband and my best friend and her fiance are in this movie theater. Do you mind if I just wait here? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then it was the end of the night. There was no more movies, so she let me go back. And my husband sees me coming into the theater, and he's like, "Oh God, what? You had a car accident?
going on?"
You have a car accident? What's wrong with the car? What happened to the car? The house burned down. What are the cats I want?" And I walk over and I just take the phone and I put it on his lap, and he was like, "Yeah."
And he did it.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And then everyone was so excited. My friends were so supportive. So yeah, it was a great moment.
That's great.
So that's the story.
And that's a great story. I want to ask you a little bit about, so you're from the North Shore. I'm interested in how place and the North Shore in particular informs your art.
Okay. Well, I live close to Salem.
Yeah.
And, we chose to come to this area. I grew up actually in New York and Connecticut.
Okay.
And then moved to California and then moved up to Oregon and then wanted to be back home on the East Coast. I always feel like, I don't know, like I love Stephen King's It when I was growing up, but it always bothered me that Derry is not a real place. Like I love being able to go to places that are featured in stories, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it just makes it feel more real to me when like the place is real. And so, I don't live in Marblehead, but I just thought it was like such a great place for a romance novel because it's very beautiful and the houses are gorgeous, but it's also everything there is kind of like built very close together.
Yes.
And so originally I wanted like a scene where they were trapped because of a bad snowstorm or something.
Right.
But it just didn't work out. Sometimes when you write a book, you plan for something, but then it just doesn't work out. But yes, I loved that it took place in Marblehead because the high school, that takes place in, it's a real high school. I know the house that they live in. I drove past it. I took pictures of it. I almost
Yes.
wanted to knock on the door and be like, "Hi, my book's getting published. The characters live in your house." I don't mention the address because
Right.
I don't want to, but like for example, the character goes out on the street and she has a, art assignment where she has to draw her neighborhood.
I remember that scene. Yes.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I just feel like having real places makes it feel more real to me.
Yes.
So
That's great. Do you have like a special place where you write, like in your house or like a desk and everything is set out just the way you want it, or?
I have a couch.
Okay.
And I have a couch, and we also have an office. We got a 2-bedroom apartment, and we have one of the rooms is the office.
Excellent.
But I don't like writing at the desk. I prefer the couch.
Couch.
So, yeah, my writing place is a couch with a blankie, and then usually a cat stepping on me, trying to get in the way of me and my monitor. Like, get off of me. It's like the harder I am concentrating on editing or writing, or you're focusing on YouTube, or the harder I'm concentrating, the more they want love.
Right.
So yeah, usually I get a cup of tea. So yeah, that's my favorite writing place. Is just, especially this time of year, on the couch with a blankie and a
Yes.
cat and a hot cup of tea.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Do you have sort of a motto that you go by when you're thinking about writing? Or is it just no kind of philosophy that guides your writing?
Yeah, actually, when I was younger in art class, when I was taking a drawing class, my drawing teacher said, if you are drawing and you have this, image of what you want, and you're like, this is my drawing, and I'm forcing it, I want it to look like this, and you force it to look like the way you want, you're never going to be happy with the end product.
Okay.
He said it's a living thing. It's an organic thing. You got to take a step
I
back.
love that.
Step back, look at it from across the room, go have a meal, or go to bed, come back the next day, and then work at it. But you have to see what it's communicating to you.
Yeah.
And so I kind of approach the writing the same way. I outline, but I don't stick to the outline completely. It's like, there were some things that I wanted for this book that just did not work, when it came to, like, I think we talked about this, like, I wanted a scene where she has to rush to the airport to prevent him from getting on a plane. I
Right.
almost put that in there, but I'm like, it just didn't flow into the story. Like, the way the story evolved, that scene just didn't work, and so I didn't do it. And so
And you let it go.
I let it go. But
Yeah.
as long as the character arcs, like the character arc, I want them to start here and end here. As long as they get to here and like they've had their transition and their character development and they're different and evolved, as long as they get to the place I wanted, I'm flexible with the outline, and I'm constantly the outline can be edited, moved around. So yeah, I don't stick to it. You know, you gotta, when you're writing, I think, be surprised.
Is it almost like the characters are a part, like almost dictating it to you, or is it that it's a partnership between you and the
I
characters?
think it might be. I never thought about it like that before, but it's like you are living with these people day in and day out, and they feel more like your your family than your actual family sometimes.
Okay.
You know, like I spend more time with them than I did my mother and father-in-law when I was
Right.
writing this book, and so yeah, it grows and evolves, and you don't know where it's going to go, and sometimes you'll have a spontaneous thought and write it down and then go back and read it and go, oh, that's terrible, no, this doesn't work, and then delete the scene and do it again. And sometimes it's like, whoa, that really worked, and I had no idea. It can surprise you.
Right.
Surprise you.
Talking about surprises, do you have sort of advice for a younger writer, somebody who maybe is not published yet?
Oh gosh, well, my husband said to me, always read.
Always read.
Always read, because that is going to read, watch movies, watch TV shows, watch anything that somebody carefully wrote and worked on. And if you're thinking, I should have done it like this, it should have happened like this, I would have made the character do this, the story will inspire you to, create something else. I mean, my friend Nicole, who came on my YouTube channel, she's coming on your show to be interviewed. She is a huge Star Wars fan.
Star Wars fan.
Yeah, and so Raylo, that inspired her book, because she's like, no, it should have been like this. So when you're a disappointed fan and you're like, no, it should have been like this, that can be like the best inspiration. I think, and a lot of times, I think a story is how it should have been like this, and then that will inspire something.
Right.
And I don't even realize it until years later when I watch the movie again. It's like, oh, what I wanted to happen in these characters happened in my book. So yeah, always be absorbing stories as much as possible. And the other advice I would give is you cannot write a book by yourself. I don't care how, Stephen King says he always makes sure his wife reads it and gives him feedback, you
Right.
know? So it's like impossible. I think you need people to give you feedback.
Yeah.
And, that's how you make it great.
How many times did you write this particular novel before it actually got published? Like, how many drafts did you have?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, the first draft, I love the first draft. My husband doesn't. Because someone once said, writing the first draft is you telling the story to yourself. That's so fun.
Okay.
I love the first draft. But, that's like there's so many typos and, things that have to be fixed. So I love to just be in the first draft and be like, and then. So I did a first draft, and then I did a second draft. And then I think I sent it out to beta readers. And then one of the beta readers was my husband. And then I asked them a ton of questions. Was anything confusing? Were you bored at any part? What did you like? What didn't you like? What would you like to see more of? And then there was a couple of scenes where everybody was like agreed on the same position that it wasn't as good as it could have been, and they helped me make it better. So yeah, having other people to help you. And so yeah, I think it went through I think like 5 drafts before
That's a lot of drafts.
I sent it to the
Wow.
I think I went it. But the first book I did, I went through 9 drafts. Because I was, so inexperienced, and I didn't know, I was making mistakes that I catch now, that I don't make the same mistakes that have to be corrected later. So yeah, it's, writing is just like the more you do it, the better you get, like
Right.
anything else. So
That's wonderful. Where can we find you online?
Oh, okay. If you go to just isischandler.com, that's my writing website, and that has links to every social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of them. And I have 2 YouTube channels, one that's movie and book and TV show reviews that I do with my husband.
Yep.
And I bring other writers on to talk about stories and review with me. And then one that's about my YouTube channel. My other one is about law of attraction and recovering from an toxic abusive family.
Got it. And you brought some artwork with you.
Yes. Okay. So my publisher let me designed the cover.
That's a great
So
cover.
yeah, so that's the cover. So I drew that, and then I
Can
did
I flip it around?
Yeah, please, by all means.
I will. Just a second.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So there's actually two. That was the first one I did that the publisher said, no, it's too colorful and cartoonish, and
Okay.
we need, and I agree, I wasn't completely happy with the way it came out. I like to draw it till it looks like almost photorealistic, and that just, didn't come out. I had so much pressure on me that I needed it to look a certain way that I just don't think it came out good enough to be the cover. Okay. Also, she has purple walls in the book, and so I just don't think it looked good with the background. So I was like, I have to make it look exactly like the scene in the book.
Okay.
And so, wasn't happy. I like it, it was a piece of art, fan art, but it's just not good enough. So then she wanted a black and white drawing of the male lead in charcoal, and then before I finished it, I scanned it several times, like 75% done, 80% done, 90% done, and she wanted it like not quite finished, like she was still working on it.
She was still working on it.
Yeah, so that's like empty down there, and then I superimposed it onto the canvas digitally, and then managed to keep a little bit of the shadow from the top of the easel onto the paper.
That's great.
And then, the cover artist at Burroughs Publishing Group did the cover in text. So.
And did the cover come out the way you wanted it to?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I found that picture, because you can't really see it that much, but she's outside in the fall. And it looks like Massachusetts in the fall. And that looks like my character's wavy brown hair.
That's
So
wonderful.
I was so happy when I found that picture.
So, do you have a process to your writing? Like when you write something, do you have to follow a certain? I have to sit here. I have to do this. I know you have the blanket and you have the cats, but is so when I write, I count pages.
Ah.
Yeah. Do you do things like that, or are you?
You mean to like see how much you've done that
Yeah,
day?
exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes, you want to do like a certain amount a day, like you want to feel like you meet your quota and things like that.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't really, like sometimes I'll sit down and I'll just bang out like a lot of pages.
Right.
I tend to be very heavily dialogue centric
Okay.
because I took acting classes when I was younger, and I took the Meisner technique, and everything is reaction, reaction, reaction to what your partner just said. Because sometimes when you're acting, it's like you're just like, I have to be cute, and I have to be interesting, and I have to be funny, and I have to be attractive, and you're so in your head about what you want to be that you're not paying attention to
Yep.
the other actor, and then that leads to a wooden performance. So the Meisner technique is all about react off the other person. And so when I write, I think that's affected it. It's like line of dialogue, everything they say. Like I don't know what the next character is going to say until they've heard what the last character said.
Right.
So it's some people have told me that my dialogue reads like a play. And so I've converted a scene of my book into a play for these young actors to read. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, I tend to be very dialogue heavy and very character centric. And so because I tend to write one line per dialogue, I tend to do a lot of pages just because it reads like a script.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been nerve-wracking working like with my husband on this book because it's kind of like every time I do it, I'm like, what is he going to edit? I have to make sure that he likes this one. So it's a little harder writing with someone else. So yeah, I'm like much more like careful and meticulous when I know he's going to read it right away. Whereas opposed if I'm just writing for me, I'm the only author on the book, it's a lot more flexible.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of, I try not to insist that I have to get a certain number of pages done today, or I try not to do that because I find that kind of kills the creative process a little when I put too much pressure on myself to produce.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the exact opposite. I've got to have, a set number of words or a set number of pages. It gets down to the word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of crazy.
I mean, it is productive. You'll get a lot done.
Yeah.
But I get like that with like cleaning and organizing and party planning and Thanksgiving. Everything is like the butter has to come out of the drawer now, so it's soft for the bit. Like I get that way with other things, but I don't with my writing. So
That's cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now we have a scene from Now That I See You, written by Isis Chandler, starring
Corey Bennett.
and
Sophia Marshall.
take it away.
Jason's nearby. I don't know how, but I can sense it. I look up and see Mike and Jason's familiar blurry outlines walking towards me.
Kira's right here.
Jason tells someone. He points in my direction. I feel his eyes on me, checking me out in this skimpy dress. His eyes travel up my legs and land on my pushed up and padded B-cups. I wish I was in an overcoat or a muumuu.
Kira!
A sweet little voice cries out my name. A little girl comes up to me and wraps her arms around my waist.
Kira, this is Lily. She's been dying to meet you.
I look down.
Hi.
All I want to do is run away, but I can't because I'm being held in place by an adorable anchor. I look down and see two big blue eyes looking up at me.
Hi, I'm Lily. You're even prettier than they all said.
Thank you.
I say awkwardly.
Agreed, you look stunning tonight.
He sounds annoyed, like he resents me for looking good when he can't have me. My eyes travel to him for a split second. He looks gorgeous in his black suit with the green button down. His woody herbal scent brings back memories of his fingers and lips on me.
Thanks.
I say, sounding way too breathy. Don't look at him. My eyes drop back down to Lily. She's in a purple dress the exact same shade as mine.
Are we going to be cousins?
She looks so happy and excited. This whole situation is ridiculous. Aunt Ginny still hasn't bothered to introduce me or my parents to her fiancé.
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see if they actually make it to the wedding.
Kira,
Mike frowns at me. Lily looks confused.
why wouldn't they make it?
She lets go of me and backs up. Everyone's looking at me like I'm a jerk. I need to get the hell out of here.
Could you excuse me, Lily? I have to go to the bathroom.
I take the stairs one floor down. Footsteps follow me. It's probably Mike coming to yell at me for being rude to Lily. I'll deal with him later. I rush inside the single bathroom and lock the door behind me. This damn engagement party is a nightmare. Everyone here is miserable. Everyone but Aunt Ginny. She's strutting around like a proud peacock, showing off her engagement ring. I pull out my phone out of my clutch. I lean back against the wall and play a few games of solitaire as I make a strategic plan for the rest of the night. I'll go back upstairs and get my jacket from the coat check. Then I won't feel so exposed when Jason looks at me. I'll avoid him for the rest of the night. I'll find an old lady to sit with. Rick must have a grandmother or a great-grandmother. Old ladies love to chat endlessly. I'll look preoccupied instead of antisocial. I'll wait until Ginny works up the courage to finally introduce Rick to my mom. I'll greet him with a forced smile. I'll apologize to Lily for being rude. I'll smile for the stupid wedding party photos. Then I'll take an Uber home. If I can somehow avoid bumping into Jason again, the rest of the night should be drama-free. I put my phone back in my purse. I take a deep breath and prepare to go back to this stupid party. I open the door. Jason's eyes are glaring at me. He's blocking the doorway.
Well, it's good to know I'm not the only one you're pushing away. Lily's only 7. That was so rude. What the hell is wrong with you?
Did you wait out here the entire time I was in the bathroom just to say that?
Did you stay in the bathroom forever just to avoid me? Don't change the subject. She's 7, and what you did was messed up.
I did Lily a favor.
I have to squeeze past Jason to get to the hall.
My Aunt Ginny isn't going to marry her dad. Ginny's relationships never last. She's already married to her own father.
I try to walk away. He steps in front of me and takes me by the shoulders.
You're so bitter.
He looks into my eyes.
What the hell happened to you? It's like you're a totally different person.
I refuse to react to his close proximity, the warmth radiating off of him, or the feeling of his hands on my shoulders. I push his hands away.
Maybe you just never knew me that well.
His eyes darken. That hit a nerve.
Yeah, right. It's the antidepressants you're on. They're making you apathetic.
How the hell do you know what medication I'm taking?
He inhales sharply. He looks down. He knows he said too much.
Why the hell are you using my cousin and Seth to get information about me?
I didn't use them. They tell me things because they're worried about you. We all are. You drop You dropped out of art class. You're not working on your portfolio. You never leave the house, not even for your friends' birthdays. You and your mom have become shut-ins. As long as you're trapped in the house with her, she doesn't have to worry about you dying in the big, scary world. You're sleepwalking through life, Kira.
I hate that he's right. I hate that he has such a bad opinion of me. I look away from him.
None of that is any of your business.
I say trying to hold on to a shred of my dignity.
You don't need to worry about me. I'm not your anything. Don't you have a plan to catch?
I storm off. He follows me. I can't outrun him in these heels. His arms slide around my waist and he pulls me back against his chest.
So every show, I cap it with a poem that I wrote during the process of the show. And this is your poem. And I've signed it and dated it, and I'm going to give it to you.
Yay! I'm
So
going to
this
put it
is
in my
your poem.
scrapbook.
Yeah. So it's not titled, unfortunately, but it's called, it starts, sparkles and diamonds, ready, set, go, into the wind or the backwards, tilt me forward, arch me all the way, with green eyes and eyes that don't see. The story tells the tale, and is unleashed, and is unbound, and is just a memory.
Oh,
That's for you.
thank you. I'm going to post that on social media and put it on my website. I love it.
Thank you.
It's for my characters.
Yes,
Yes.
it was inspired.
Yeah.
So, Isis Chandler, thank you very much.
Thank you. Just to talk a little bit more about the book.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the show This Is Us or 6 Feet Under plus Taylor Swift's You Belong With Me music video equals my book.
I love that.
So it's a lot of family drama. It's a lot of like intergenerational family drama and family dynamics and, a lot of personal stuff. And it's, I tried to put as much depth into it because I feel like a lot of books for teenagers are just like, well, they can just talk about shallow things and talk about the guy and be very surface level. So I went very deep with it.
You did. I read it and I loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I know my production assistant, she heard the scene and instantly wanted to buy the book.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
So it's available on Amazon?
It's available on Amazon, and it's also available through my publisher directly, Burroughs Publishing Group. Burroughs, like the 5 boroughs of Manhattan, is spelled that way. So if you want to cut out the middleman, you can order it directly through Burroughs Publishing Group or Amazon or, Apple Books and Barnes & Noble. It's anywhere books are sold.
Nice. I love that. So,
Yeah, it's available ebook or print.
excellent. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me. I
appreciate
had
it.
so much fun. This was amazing, and I'm going to put this in my scrapbook, and I'm going to take a picture of it and post it on my social media and put it on my website about my book. Because, I love like other creative things that people do regarding my characters. So, that's going with the book. Thank you.
Thank you. And this is Jen Campbell with Art About.